Suzanne Casella loves to hike. Cynthia Brown loves to run. But just because a lot of us love to move doesn't mean that we move the right way.
Or when we stop moving, like when we get to work, I'd venture to guess that about 98% of us plop down in front of our computer just like this. And according to a local physical therapist, that's a big reason why so many of us hurt so often.
And I tip and sit, and I tip and sit.
Lisa Ann McCall has been a physical therapist for 25 years, but early on in her practice, her approach took a detour.
What's different with my physical therapy is that it's based on just movement. Natural movement with the human body working with gravity instead against gravity. And we don't even know it a lot in our society that we're working against gravity a lot because of the way we hold our body or the unknowing of how we sit, slump.
She created the McCall Method 13 years ago after studying primitive people and how they move.
Yet they were carrying things on their head, they were carrying things on their back, they were bending all day. They were living their whole life into way old age, and they weren't breaking down. And then I said, now that I gotta look into. I took that information I gained and I put it with the science I learned from physical therapy school, and that is the creation of what I base my therapy on. And it's a phenomenal tool to use.
Meaning she uses simple daily movements, standing, sitting, walking, even lying down, as the method to help someone who's hurting. Suzanne says the small changes Lisa Ann is teaching her have made huge improvements since she suffered a car accident.
The small stuff is what happens every single moment of the day. And it's what you can do on your own. You don't feel like you're dependent on somebody, and that person is going to make everything right.
Bend the knee a little, and this left one. Yeah, and then we're gonna balance the hips. You feel that?
I do.
Cynthia Brown's recurring running injuries kept flaring up until she sought out Lisa Ann's unconventional movement therapy.
It was more or less adjusting the way I do things every day to improve my health and to prevent those injuries from reoccurring. And that's something I had never had before. And that got me back to running, which was perfect.
So a big part of the McCall Method is feeling rather than thinking.
So if we get out of our heads literally and get down into our hips, meaning we start to, what does that feel like, instead of thinking, and start moving from the hips, we will shift the whole way we move, and healing just will start to happen right away.
Dr. Emmy Lawson-Kabobel agrees.
Something as simple as putting my butt up the wall or laying on the ground and putting my leg in sort of a figure 4 position, that she's shown me how it literally just profound. Suddenly I have no hip pain.